Good day. I am the fashion goddess with Wealthy Boutique and Consulting Firm. Today we will discuss a topic called metaphysics. Metaphysics are simply the spiritual principles and morals that we have to abide by in life to pretty much receive success. Metaphysics is the universal laws, it's the science of life. So let's get started. Knowledge is power. We all know that in order to succeed in life, you have to increase your intelligence. So we're all seeking knowledge, we're all seeking information. And of course, in this digital age, we have access to tons of information. But how do you receive the true knowledge that can align your life in the category of success and start manifesting your heart desires, things that you want to attain in life? How do you do that exactly? Well, you do that by obeying the spiritual laws. Because, see, with the spiritual laws, for example, the law of karma, or however, the law of attraction, these are known as spiritual laws, and these spiritual laws will bring certain things into your life according to your obedience towards the spiritual laws. So let's move on. We're going to discuss practical laws and practical rules. So anytime I say practical laws is of course the laws of our world. Practical rules is the rules of our world. However, we know with the topic of metaphysics, it's all about applying our spiritual laws as well as practical laws into one to eventually receive success, because that's what we're all striving for, to receive success. But what we fail to understand is how to bring together our spiritual laws combined with our practical laws. So let's learn a little bit about practical rules. So life is all about problem solving. In life, we have to take the good with the bad. We go through so many ups and downs, so many problems in life that eventually they stress us out. Some we overcome, some we endure, some we actually learn how to solve. Next, life is full of different experiments. So we experiment so many things in life. And to be quite frank, a lot of people experience alcoholism. A lot of people experience drug addictions. A lot of people experience rape or molestation in life, and even good experiments. A lot of people, buy their first home in their early 20s. A lot of people buy their first luxury car in their early 20s. A lot of people are pretty much parents save up for their college fund. That way they don't have to worry about experiencing student loan debt. So it's different experiments that we each have in life. Some of us learn how to cook in life. Some of us don't know how to cook yet. So we all have gone through different experiences, and that is what make our life unique. When we interact with others, we can tell others about our different experience, and each individual can learn something different from you that they never actually experienced in their life. Because don't forget, experience is the best teacher. Next is, in life we can discover many possibilities. So it's so many things that you'll eventually discover about yourself, like your talents, your abilities, your skill sets. We get jobs in our teens nowadays, living in an industrial world where, we learn typing skills, we learn data entry skills, we learn administration skills, accounting skills. And even with like a talent, some people, they learn how to play an instrument. Some people learn how to sing. And some people model. Some people become fashion designers. And also, just discovering our abilities. Some people have great communication skills. Some people have great leadership skills. Some people have great interpersonal skills. So we discover so much about our lives as we, go through the cycle of life. Finally, I want to mention that life is nothing but a huge science project at the end of the day. And you're going to go through so many experiments, so many problem solving in life, so many discoveries in life, that at the end of your life, you're going to have a hypothesis. And a hypothesis is pretty much like the answer to your question. Like, what was your life about? At the end of every senior citizen's life, they can tell you what their life was overall about. So look at life like that. It's a science project. So think about this from a positive perspective. Do you want to turn in a bad science project to your teacher, your creator, your author, and whatever figure you personally want to think about, your parent, your spouse, your child, a leader, so even a mentor. But just think about your life as a science project, and just think about you're turning in this poster board. Do you want to get an F on your poster board or an A on your poster board? So decide each and every day that you wake up, you're going to live the best life possible. And you're going to make the right choices and decisions on a daily basis, because one day your science project will be turned into the creator, and he will then grade you on how your life was. So an A or F student. So really take that into full consideration and move forward with experiencing life in a more righteous manner. So your life will be either two types of lives, two type of life, a good life or a rationalized life. So really think about that. Do you want to live a basic life, a life with no meaning, a life not knowing your inner self, a life never really knowing what you can amount up to in life, a life never succeeding, settling for less, a life of just pessimistic thoughts, a life of never fulfilling your destiny, never fulfilling your purpose, never living your dream. No one wants to really live a life like that. However, the the graveyard is the most richest place. Why? Because there's so many people that have passed away with so many gifts, talents, abilities, and skills that they never tapped into. So with that being said, remember, your life is a science project. So do you want to be buried as a poster board? Picture yourself as that science project poster board. Do you want to be buried as a poster board that is blank, that has nothing on it? No one read, no one saw it, no one actually wrote on it. No one posted it up on the wall. No, and we live in a digital age now, so I have to bring up social sites and stuff like that. So no one never posted it on social media, Facebook, Instagram. They never post your poster. Do you really want to live a defeated lifestyle where no one paid attention to you because you didn't do anything? Or do you want to live a real good life? A real good life is basically, aligning your ways, your thoughts with God. Period. And for those out there that, you think like, hey, I'm not a religious person, I'm not a Christian, I'm not a Muslim, I'm not a Buddhism. Let me just clarify real quick. Metaphysics is not about any type of religion. Metaphysics is simply about spirituality, and it's actually the science of life. Okay, so I'm not trying to encourage scientists or whatever to kind of, contradict and criticize the message of metaphysics, but I'm saying it is the spiritual aspects of life. So it is the science of life. So this is not about religion. This is about knowing that something out there greater than us, created the universe and all that we see. So that's what a good life is about. It's about living to the utmost righteousness possible. Waking up every day and making the right choices, making good decisions on a daily basis. And that's pretty much what a good life is: aligning your thoughts, your ways with how you think, with what you think is good to you. So if you do something against your own morals, against your own standards, and okay, that's not something you want to be doing, then don't do that. Live up to your morals and standards. That's what metaphysics is all about. Helping us to have a higher spiritual goal, in mind, to like that you're going to live your life to this extent, versus settling for less. So let's talk about, these are the practical rules that you need to abide by to succeed in life. So number one is, first, believe all is possible. In order to achieve anything in this lifetime, we have to believe in ourselves. I know that a lot of you out there grew up as children and people doubted you. People told you would never amount to anything, so don't believe that lie, because see, they never amounted to anything. So then they put that same blame on you, or that same curse, if I may say, on you, because they never became anything. And actually someone emotionally abused them, and they're keeping up that same cycle of negative talk. So believe in yourself. Believe that whatever your dream is, whatever purpose you want to fulfill, whatever your destiny is, whatever journey you want to take in life, believe that you can do all things with God, if I may add. Secondly, action should be, whatever action that you want to take in life, it should be a good action. So for example, if you want to start a business, make sure you're going to start a decent business. So, I'm not being judgmental, but hey, starting a strip club, yes, it's going to generate income. Let's be, straightforward about it. However, you're going to have young girls, college girls coming and applying for a position to get funds to maybe pay for their college education. But is that really a good business? To someone that's trying to have higher standards in life, principles about themselves, morals and integrity? No, it's really not a good life. So whatever action you decide on taking, like I say, starting a business, make sure it's something good. Next, pick a good reason why you want to do what you want to do. For example, if your action is, hey, your action plan is you want to start a good business. Okay, now pick a reason. What's the one reason that makes you want to start this business? So for example, it might be a nonprofit organization, and you might want to donate clothes and maybe food to the homeless. So that's one good reason. That's the perfect reason. So just know, when you pick your action plan of what it is you're trying to accomplish or achieve, then pick one reason and write that down under your action plan of, hey, I'm going to open this nonprofit organization, and then the reason under will be to feed and donate clothing to the homeless. Next, once you have written down your action plan of what good thing you will do, and you have found one good reason of why it can work, because people need clothes and food, then take action immediately upon that action plan. Take action immediately. Because one thing I know, as soon as you let it die down in your mind, the enemy can come and take that positive thought away from you. So take action immediately. Plus, some of us, we are lazy. Some of us, we procrastinate. And eventually, if we don't take action immediately, we will never get around to fulfilling that dream. So take action right away. Next is be determined to succeed. You will have a bumpy road. You will have others that will talk down on your business plan, and that's just, I'm using the business for example. You will have others that will discourage you, anger you, make you sad, and pretty much just try to get you to quit, So always be determined to succeed. Never give up, never give in. Next, do the task in a respectable manner. So let's just say, of course, you got that going back to the action plan, the practical rule number 2, and then going back to the reason, which was feeding the homeless and clothing the homeless, and then going back to practical rule number 3, you took action, and then of course practical rule number 4, you're determined and you are succeeding. Okay, so with practical rule number 5, you want to do the task in a respectable manner, because along the way of you succeeding, there will be, maybe, let's say, investors that might come on your path and say, hey, do this or do that to make extra money. So for example, it might be they tell you about, like, hey, how to do some type of fraud in your business to get ahead, to get more money from the government, like grant money. Okay, do you really want to do that? No, because that's not doing something in a respectable manner. That's not living up to your integrity. That's not having standards and morals about yourself. So you definitely do not want to compromise your business. You don't even want to compromise yourself personally. So always do things in a respectable manner. Keep your, some people say pride is bad, but in my opinion, pride, it helps you to honor yourself that much that you don't actually do anything foolish. So moving on, have willpower. Always bring out your that inner power within you, which is your willpower. And to add on, have a good will. Have do good unto others, and then goodness will flow into your life. Like I mentioned earlier, the law of attraction. So do good unto others, and that's going to automatically, the universe going to send that back your way. And last, accomplish all the goals in your life. You will accomplish all your goals. I can tell you that for a fact. If you completely follow each one of these practical rules of life, you will accomplish all your goals in life. So, the hypothesis of life. So, the hypothesis is pretty much the conclusion. As I mentioned earlier about that life is a science project. And I mentioned if you were to turn in that science project, what type of grade would you get, an A or an F? So let's sum up the hypothesis of life. With you being in control as the director of your life versus God being in control as the creator and the author of your life. So I want you to choose this day who will be in charge of your life. Somebody that created it? That seems like the most obvious answer to me. Or yourself. Somebody that don't even know like why they've been through so much that, already passed in their life. We don't even know why we've been through so many things that we have gone through. So do we really trust ourselves to pretty much control and direct our lives? I don't think so. So let's get into the message though. If you're gonna be the director and be in control of yourself and relinquish control to a higher authority, then this is what can possibly happen. For number one, you will be using your own skills to attain certain goals. We all know that you can only get so far in life. However, there is a God that can take you even further in life if you lean and depend on Him. Being in control of your life as the director, you will fail at times in your life. We all have fallen. But of course, a lot of us that's still here, it's obvious that we have gotten back up. And we walking on our journey. We are in a continued progression process. Also, if you are in control of your life, being a director, you can go through unnecessary struggles, troubles, and hardship. Do you really want to go through everything that you probably already been through in your life? Or do you want to, like I say, relinquish control and change that? None of us like trouble. None of us like to struggle financially, going through trouble, having our vehicles getting wrecked, going through foreclosures, going through a divorce, financial hardships. None of us actually want to go through that. So once again, relinquish control. Next, if you're in control as the director of your life, you will succeed quickly. However, you will also lose the things that you have attained quickly. So like they say, what goes up, it must come down. So a lot of people, they become successful quickly, but then they fall. They fall off eventually. Why? Because they never had trust in that higher power to keep their success. Only God can help you to keep your success. Next, you would never be able to figure everything out in your life. We do not know all the pros and the cons of our life. As I stated earlier in this lesson, every day we are experimenting life. Every day we are experimenting the possibilities. We are discovering things in our life. So none of us would never ever have it all figured out. So don't even think that you're going to have it all figured out. Relinquish control. Let someone else that created you figure it out and do the work. Help you do the work. So we'll never be healthy enough to enjoy our wealth. So if you're not dependent on a higher power, of course we know these bodies get sick and decay and die. Okay, so how can you really depend on yourself if you know one day you will decay, you will die, you will get sick? You can't. So now moving on to God being in control of your life. So have faith in God to determine the outcome of your life, because He knows everything that's going to happen. He created you before you were formed in your mother's womb, before she even had you. God knew who you were. Trust the process. So even, living life with God, it's going to be some bumpy roads. It's going to be some ups and downs as well. But, just know that every lesson you learn from Him is just teaching you how to become a better human being. Believe you are who God say you are. So if God say you are a great prophet, you are a great preacher, you are a great prayer warrior, believe whatever God say that you are. And He will finish your story in a positive way. If you put your life in His hands, He will make sure you finish off strong. And He will never fail you or let you down. So, and He will never forsake you. You can always rely and depend upon Him. Positive affirmations. Always do positive affirmations every day. God, He loves all people. So just know that you are loved, no matter what race, what ethnicity, what color, what religion. We are all loved by the one creator of the universe, of this world. So be encouraged to take out time and call upon Him. Like I said, it's not about religion. So you can call upon Him in your heart and just say, hey, let me get to know you personally. Let me develop a relationship with you, because that's what it's all about, developing a relationship with our Father God. So pray that prayer in your heart. Father God, let me develop a relationship with you. So once again, I am the fashion goddess with Wealthy Boutique and Consulting Firm. My business is focused on strategy. We are accountable for all of our actions. We uphold responsibility. We create wonderful designs, and our clients are our priority. This is presented by the Fashion Goddess, sponsored by Wealthy Boutique and Consulting. I provide image consulting service and retail products. You can visit my website if you would like to book a service with me, image consulting, wardrobe, styling session, even spiritual counseling or life coaching. And you can shop for particular retail products on my website. If you ever have any questions or comments, feel free to leave a comment, subscribe. If you have any questions, feel free to email me, and I definitely will get back to you. Thank you so much for your time, and be blessed. Be blessed by your inner self, by the inner power that is working within you, and most of all, the higher power. Continue to get knowledge.
What you talking about? They ain't saying nothing. You studio, yes, yo. Start flying. I hear the ice cream truck coming. I see star flying stiletto coming. I see the death of the salt coming. I see Jess Bangers coming. Look, you see, coming soon. Either you sugar-coated or you the salt of the earth. Either you sweet or you both tasted. One with the Lord, we got flavor. No taking back, you beneath me. We taking tracks, transform for the savior of the arrival of the safe zones. Leader of it, follow these footsteps, you like your glow. Let me take it back when your light didn't glow. Try to put an enemy, got you knocked out. Church in a while, so bold for the corner of his grace. Knew your next step before you took it. Fake people got me sick, yeah, got me sick. Going over yes or no, make your mind up. Sugar coated or salt. You don't want this. If I lay my hands on you, then the Holy Ghost gon' come out. You get messed up in the next new life. Yeah, in the next new life, get on. Is you hearing it? Is you hearing it? Get on. Sugar coated the soul. Yeah. What you talking about? They ain't saying nothing. You studio, yes, yo. Start flying. I hear
Spiritual love. That is the exact way a man and woman love should be for one another. Each one of them should love the other like